You got the 40?
Yes, sir.
You have the candy.
You got the tornado?
If you got the money. Well, looks like we do. It does. You guys are in luck. This is my new batch. It's pretty pure, isn't it?
Organic?
Yes, it is. Always. Is it 100% of the dust? There's no... Of course. There's nothing else. No.
No fireball, no speedball.
Completely pure. Yes. That's what I like to hear.
Pleasure doing...
Crossbred with the greatest Venezuelan.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Thank you,
Good with
sir.
you too.
I'll catch you later.
Hope to do more business with you, Marcus.
I'm gonna
See you
one more
later.
this. How's it going, my dudes?
Oh my god!
In 2018, over 7,000 people died from cocaine overdose. That number is increasing by 8% every year.
Cocaine is extracted from cocoa leaves, which are native to Colombia, Ecuador, and Venezuela. When Spanish settlers arrived, they saw the natives chewing these cocoa leaves for their energetic properties and started chewing them themselves. In 1859, the powder that we see today, or cocaine, was extracted from the leaves for the first time. Cocaine use ramped up in the late 1880s and early 1900s, until the point where it got so bad that in 1922 the United States government had to ban it entirely. Cocaine was very unpopular for many years, and many people forgot about it entirely. In the 1970s and 1980s, it made a shocking resurgence, and became associated with crime and poverty, and it became very widespread in use. Cocaine use has been gradually decreasing, but in 2011, cocaine use has started rising around 8% a year.
When taking cocaine, it gets into the bloodstream almost immediately.
Smoking or injecting cocaine will produce a strong high that lasts about 10 minutes, but in snorting it will produce a weaker high that lasts for about 15 to 30 minutes.
Well, under the influence of cocaine, you'll obviously be very energetic, like I mentioned before, but you may feel very paranoid or anxious. And some other effects include like your pupils dilating or a very large increase in heart rate because of your blood vessels shrinking. Cocaine does not only have short-term effects, there are also quite a few long-term effects. One of the ones you'll see a lot is that cocaine users have a hard time storing fat, because first of all, their appetite almost completely diminishes, and second of all, cocaine pretty much just stops their body from being able to store fat. Another thing that's a bit worse, arguably, is how it injures your respiratory system. Another long-term effect is the decay of your septum, which is right here in between both of your nostrils. There will essentially be a hole right about here. And another thing is that your nasal pathways will dry up, which can and probably will lead to your nose bleeding, and it can even lead to a nasal collapse.
Some street names for cocaine are Coke, Flake, Snow, Blow, White, Toot, Base, Besa, Powder, Dust, Big Rush, Pearl, Candy, Cola, C, Big Flakes, Nose Candy, Baseball, Bump, Line, Rail, Snow, Stash, and Yo.
Now, cocaine can come in a less refined form in the form of crack, which is essentially like rocks, and that would be what you smoke. Now, smoking crack can lead to lung damage or permanent lung damage, which is pretty obvious.
Some street names for crack cocaine are Snow Coke, Rocks, Black Rock, Chemical, Candy, Nuggets, Gravel, Grit, Hail, Hard Rock, Jelly Beans, Cookies, Dice, Purple Caps, Scrabble, Yam, Sleet, and Tornado. And some street names for cocaine mixtures with other drugs such as marijuana, meth, PCP, heroin, ecstasy, and LSD include Speedball, Spaceball, Woohoo, Cocoa Puffs, Woolies, Boy Girl, Candy Flipping, Bumping Up, Snow Seals, and Flamethrowers. And now you know that if you hear any of these names, you know to stay away.
So what happens when you overdose on cocaine? Well, there are actually a few things that can happen. And these things would be things like dangerously high blood pressure, irregular heart rate, extremely high body temperature, extreme anxiety or confusion, nausea, agitation or tremors, or even psychosis. Now, these symptoms will just happen in the beginning, because after that, things as terrible as a heart attack or a stroke that will be fatal may happen.